All right, now that we understand the importance of the backbeat, the hi-hats, and also sample chops and arrangements, now it's time to put everything together. So what I was saying before in the last one was I typically like to have all of my chops on 9 through 16, and below 5 through 8, I will have most of my percussion. Sometimes there's some facts where I'll mix it around, but I can kind of see how this will be the easiest setup to start with cueing the drums, the percussion with the melody and keep it all going at the same time. So if you've been following my Finger Drumming Academy or seen any of my tutorials, the biggest thing that I advertise is the pinchers. And the pinchers, the crab claws, whatever you want to call it, is going to be that thing that's going to allow you to activate the kick and the melody at the same time, i.e. with the snare and all that good stuff. So the first thing that we can do for a little bit of a practice, if you have your chops already ready, and I'm sorry, I should have said that at the beginning, but if you have some chops and they're chopped on the downbeat like I have, 9 through 16, this is going to work in that same type of formation. Okay. So when I like to start, mostly the kick on every type of beat is always going to start on the 1, and the snare will always 9 times out of 10 be on the 3. Okay. So once you keep that logic, everything as far as placement is going to make sense a little bit better. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll start with my right hand, middle finger on the pad 9, and my thumb is going to be on the pad 1. So simple note, we're just going to go simple already. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to do the same thing, 1 and 11 for the second count. Now 10 and 2, remember, like I said, the snare 9 times out of 10 is usually on a 3. In this case, it is. So the 10 and the 2 are actually going to connect. So let's take those 2 steps back. We have the first step, 1 and 9. Then I have my second step, which is the 1 and 11. And then I'm going to have my third step, which is going to be pad 2 and 10. Let me wind that back. The nice thing about that is because the way I chopped, all of it's just bar, bar. You can do the same thing right up top. In most cases, every beat is different. So if you happen to have one-shot samples or hits, this same pattern and rhythm that I'm showing you is going to apply all the same way. Okay. So I got this right here going. And like I said, you can do this with any sample you have. The next part is adding in those hi-hats. Now, I know it's easier said than done to keep one hand going and the other hand to be doing something else. Like I like to explain it. This left hand has one job, okay? And this one job is just these hi-hats, okay? And like I said, when the hi-hats start on the pad 4 for the higher velocity or dominant hi-hat, okay? This doesn't change. It's staying exactly the same. So much that I can just drop the beat in right now. One useful tip that I tell everybody who's getting started with the hi-hats and getting that left and right motion going, just do this. Do this. Let this be subconsciously just rolling, okay? Because this hand right here is going to be in charge of a lot of stuff. This hand is in charge of the melodies and the meat and potatoes, okay? So this hand has a lot of responsibility, and we can't be throwing this hand off. This hand over here has one job. Also, that works with me speeding up the hi-hats too as well. like I said, the hi-hats stayed the same the whole time. So a quick brief on the finger drumming arrangement. 9 through 16 usually have all my chops, and I do chop them right on the one for easier sake, just so you can get 9 times out of 10, you're going to get out of the sample where the kick and where the snare would be. And it's going to be easier for you to put those chops into place. It's going to make a lot of sense, especially when you're finger drumming. You don't want anything off a different count when you're drumming. For the hi-hats, the seasonings, make sure you keep those hi-hats consistent. They don't need to break. We don't want to double here. We just want to keep these hi-hats consistent. And along with those meat and potatoes, that meat and potatoes is the ship. That is the heartbeat. That is what's controlling everything. Okay. So the thing with that meat and potatoes is it has control. Like I said, we can switch up different variations with the meat and potatoes and change the whole feel of the beat. Okay. So that is the backbeat. And I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope these tips were very helpful, and I hope to do more. And you guys use this in your production, and you guys have a great one. Be safe. Bye-bye.